April 2020. A former Prime Minister had once voiced a concern that the fruits of the welfare schemes were not reaching the intended citizens. The common and deserving citizen was only receiving 15 paise of every rupee sent to him. Guided by Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, our government and our Prime Minister added manifold speed and scaled up the implementation of schemes and programs that directly benefited the poor and the disadvantaged. I wish to list out only a few as examples. 1. Welfare schemes with direct benefit transfer embedded in them. 2. Sanitation and water as provision of basic needs and as a measure of preventive health care. 3. Healthcare through Ayushman Bharat. Clean energy through Ujjwala and solar power. 4th. 5th. Financial inclusion, credit support, insurance protection to vulnerable sections and pension scheme. 6th, digital penetration with broadband and UPI. And finally, affordable housing for all through PMAY, the Prime Minister Awas Yojana. The milestones achieved are unprecedented, globally recognized and benchmarked against international indices. This strategy changed the established order of a few individuals, cornering most of the benefits, and was appreciated by the people. This had immensely positive outcomes. We have moved on from a growth rate of just over 4% in 1950s to 6% in 80s and in the 90s. However, during 2014 and 19, we clocked a growth of 7.4% on average, with inflation averaging around 4.5% itself. It is worthwhile to note that inflation was close to 9% in the In 2006 and 16, India was able to raise 271 million people out of poverty, which we all should be proud of. We are now the 5th largest economy of the world. India's foreign direct investment got elevated to the level of $284 billion during 2014 and 19. From $190 billion that came in during the years 2009 to 14. The central government debt that has been the bane of our economy got reduced in March 2019 to 48.7% of GDP from a level of 52.2% in March 2014. Just between 14 and 19, I recall this figure, the central government's debt in March 2019 has come down to 48.7% of the GDP from a level of 52.2% in March 2014. With this backdrop, our government shall work towards taking the country forward so that we can leapfrog to the next level of health, prosperity, and well-being. We shall strive to bring ease of living to every citizen. I am mindful of presenting this budget in the backdrop of two cross-cutting developments. 1. Proliferation of technologies, especially analytics, machine learning, robotics, bioinformatics, and artificial intelligence. And also, number 2, the number of people in the productive age group, that is 15 to 65 years of age in India, being at its highest. So these are the two cross-cutting streams, keeping in the backdrop while we are talking about the budget today. This combination is special to contemporary India. Across the world, if there is a shrinking of globalization, equally there is a debate on the efficacy of monetary policy too. The efforts we have made in the last 5 years and the energy, the enthusiasm and the innovation of our youth are the ignition required to push forward. This Indian spirit of entrepreneurship, which weathered several storms over the centuries, inspire and motivate us. We recognize the need to support and further energize this spirit. This budget is woven around three prominent themes. One, aspirational India, in which all sections of the society seek better standards of living with access to health, education, and better jobs. Two, economic development for all, indicated in the Prime Minister's exhortation of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. This would entail reforms across swathes of the economy. Simultaneously, it would mean yielding more space for the private sector. Together, they would ensure higher productivity and greater efficiency. And three, ours shall be a caring society that is both humane and compassionate. Antyodaya is an article of faith. So, I repeat, this budget is woven around three prominent themes: aspirational India, economic development, and a caring society. The digital revolution, which has placed India in a unique leadership position globally, will see the next wave. We shall aim to achieve seamless delivery of services through digital governance, to improve physical quality of life through national infrastructure pipeline, risk mitigation through disaster resilience, social security through pension and insurance penetration. Each one of these initiatives and their components would be benchmarked to international standards, and the indices would be announced soon. Before I move to elaborate on each of these three themes, I wish to recite a small verse in Kashmiri.
देखी पड़े लोकसभा सीधा प्रसारण